All right, guys, I'll try to keep this tight as possible. We always talk about our Corunna Cavaliers and the boys track team, man. They just keep rolling. They had a record-setting night in their own Cavalier Classic 14 school invite. Corunna dominated all the relay races. They won the 4x100 relay team of Isaac Jacobs, Nick Strow, and the Bauer boys, Tarek and Wyatt. They broke the school record in 42.98 seconds. That's pretty impressive. In the same four, set a new meet record in the 4x200 and the 4x400. Luke Curran, Jackson and Nick Strow and Logan Roca set another meet record. I mean, if you dominate the relays, you're going to probably win most of your meets, and they definitely did that. And they're a special team. And I know they're talking about potential state championship, and it wouldn't be a big surprise if they are, have good weather that day and can all do their own personal best. It'd be cool to see.
It's always a big thing, the weather, and then,
Mm-hmm.
just how they're feeling. How are they feeling going into that state meet? I mean, if they're setting records like that, because like we've said, Corunna has a storied track program. If they're breaking records, that says a lot. So we might see another sign go on that Corunna city limits coming up here.
They're running out of room.
Well, it's got like 10 different Odyssey of the Mind national championships on that thing. So
Yes. Also, we don't talk about Morris's boys track team very often, but they won the 10-team Cardinals Classic at Dryden, and they won, the 4x100 and the 4x200 and 4x400. So good job by the Morris Orioles. And Chesaning won an MMAC quad as Levi Meyer won the 400, the 800, and 3,200 meter runs. Boy, that kid must have been tired after that. That's a lot of distance right there, man.
It's a lot of running.
In baseball, Langsberg walked off Pewamo, Westphalia 6-5 on Darm Garcia's 2-out, 2-strike single. Corunna just recently swept Owasso 5-zip and 9-1 to improve to 15-3 in baseball. Chuck Osika doing a great job with the Cavaliers. Colin Thompson shut out the Trojans in game 1, and Colby Ardeline got the game 2 win and went 3 for 3 at the plate. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Cavaliers do here in the month of May as they head to the tournament in June. Good ball club.
Gotta love it. Like you said, weather's turning around, right? So now you can start getting in a groove.
Absolutely.
Just in time, man. 18 games down.
Yeah.
that's because that's literally like, it's finally, like, the weather is nice to play baseball. That's
Absolutely
crazy. They've already logged 18 games, man.
Yeah, I think they have a single game against Owasso at the Trojan Field tomorrow. Speaking of Owasso, well, in softball, they swept Brandon 11-0 and 7-2 as Lexi Hemker went 4 for 4. They also swept Corunna girls softball 13-2 and 12-0. And speaking of Owasso softball, I just saw this in the newspaper. Macy Ireland, you remember her from the 2021 state championship, and she went on to Kent State. She was just named the MAC Pitcher of the Week after going 5-0. They beat Buffalo twice and Bowling Green in 3 games. So congratulations to her. Here's a little quick thing statewide, Jared. You guys are probably on top of it at Bally. Orchard Lake St. Mary's baseball team had won 84 straight baseball games. Think about that. State record, obviously, 84 straight. And they had won 84 straight going into last Thursday's doubleheader with Grosse Pointe Liggett. Now the Eaglets have a 2-game losing streak. But they racked off 84 straight before losing that twin bill 4-3, 4-3. But that's quite a...
They are loaded. I think they finished the year last year like #1 nationally. They
really
are hell of a program out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Dan Petrie's son that is the head coach there.
I think you're right.
So, yeah, they are. That's what a hell of a program, man.
84 straight. That's insane. Yeah. What does that end up being? That's almost like 4 years in a row.
4 years, yeah. The previous record was small school Homer. I think they'd won like 70. So the Eaglets, they stamped some room there for that all-time record. That's very impressive. Crazy. I got a little local thing just to end it here for you guys.
Let's do it.
All right. You know how I'd been preaching about the Corunna schools joining the Mid-Michigan Athletic Conference, so they could have these natural rivalries with Chesaning, Durand, Ovid, Elsie, the others. There's now actual talk. There's been the MMAC. They're looking to add one team, and from what I understand, they've actually reached out to Corunna and Birch Run. They're going to probably, the athletic directors are going to have to do their presentations on why their school is the best fit to join that league. but they're only going to pick one, from what I understand, between Corunna and Birch Run. If you look at Birch Run, okay, they're closer to Montrose, Mount Morris. Okay, that's fine. But if you pick Corunna, you're right basically in the middle of that league, which I would think would be appealing, but kind of interesting news.
So if say Corunna wins that bid, what would that make the conference, all the teams?
Well, dropping out would be Lakeville, because they, first of all, they haven't been able to compete. And second of all, they've just decided to go to 8-man football. And Byron is also in that league, and they've just decided to go to 8-man football. So that's kind of the deciding factor there,
So who would be left? It would be Corunna, and then
who's in the
league? I'll start from the east. So you got Mount Morris, Montrose, New Lothrop, Corunna, Chesaning, and Ovid Elsie.
Okay.
And Durand.
I want nothing to do with that league. If I'm wrong. In my opinion, I think
you just think it's a step down, don't you?
I do in a bit. Yeah. I feel kind of grody saying that, but no, I think the conference they're in right now, it's a good conference, especially for a good football team, which is what Corunna currently has. You have good schools like Goodrich, who are always going to be good. You have the crossover game with a bigger school, guaranteed a bigger school every year. I'm fine with the conference they're in. Yes, it doesn't have those rivalries that we'd love to see, but if it's not going to be the whole shebang of all those kind of local Shiawassee County schools, then what good is it? Just being in the mix with Chesaning and Durand.
I can see that. Yeah. Yes, it'd be cool to kind of get back in the mix, to bring back some of those rivalries that we've talked about a number of times on the podcast, but it does almost seem like it's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see what you're saying, Jared. If Corunna is really trying to establish itself as a, one of the top mid-Michigan programs, would they be better staying in the conference they're in? Better competition, maybe? I'm not sure if it is technically better competition, but kind of like what you laid out. So I'd be curious to see what the final pitch is.
So Jared's a nay. Matt's are you an in-betweener?
I'm a classic. I'm an in-betweener, because
I'm all in on the MMAC.
Okay.
My whole thing is the communities are similar. Yep. The rivalries will be great. The travel will be less. I mean, and I am old school, but I'm all in. I'd like to see it if they got the invite. I'd hope they do it, and they wouldn't join, and they'd run out this next season in the Flint Metro still anyway. So it'd be for 24, 25. So stay tuned.
No, I definitely wouldn't be against it, because when you line back up with Durand over some of those other schools, Chesaning, that would definitely be very cool to see again. I just wonder, like Jared said, would you be taking a step down? That's the only thing. Not that Corunna all of a sudden has become an elite program or something like that, but
I think a lot of people look at Corunna in our county as like, what do those idiots? What are they so like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, so proud of themselves. Why are they so proud of themselves, man? They are worse than us. We kick their ass when we play them. That's what I would say if I was like a Durand or a Chesaning. Just like outside looking in, because I feel like we always do have this highbrow look.
Arrogance? Are you saying arrogance?
Arrogance.
Okay.
Well, but when you look back at the history books, it's like you guys are churning out like 2-win seasons like it's nothing. Why are you guys so highbrow about all this?
I'm not sure.
Join the MMA.
Maybe I am right. Maybe we just do need to, or maybe I'm wrong. We just need to join this conference.
Go Cavs! All right.
Good debate.
Yep. Well, that's our prep spotlight, and we'll wrap up the podcast. Just a short entertainment tonight, right after this. Capital Sports Field House is the home of hit and pitch and a whole lot more. The 10,000 square foot turf field can be used for all indoor sports training, including football, baseball, basketball, softball, soccer, and many other activities. Hit and Pitch has 7 indoor batting cages with full pitching tunnel and the state-of-the-art Hit Tracks training system utilized by MLB organizations. Located in the old Capitol Bowl J.C. Penney block on South Washington in Owasso, Michigan. For more details, call Capital Sports and Hit and Pitch at 989-472-4624 or online at capitalsportsfh.com.